Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. How y'all doing? If I sound a little weird, I still am getting over a cold that I have had since the end of last week. I did take a COVID test this weekend. It was negative. So if I sound a little funny, if I'm giving a little bit of T-Boz from TLC, that's why. So how y'all doing? I'm so glad that you guys are here. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad that you are here. If you've been here a while, if you are a member, if you are a longtime subscriber, I appreciate all of you. And in case you're new, my name is Erin Bees. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. Am I a little out of breath? Yes. Am I a little congested? Yes. Do I feel better? 1,000%. Also, guys, I have some things to tell you. Today is my son's birthday. And don't worry, I did ask for permission to do this live stream, and he said, "Mom, I just want to play video games until Dad gets home." So, because then we're gonna do all the birthday stuff. So he's 10. Isn't that crazy? Excuse the voice. The light and the hair are a vibe. Thank you. I just got a new lip gloss in. Can you guys? It is by Queen Cosmetics. This is called FaceTime. Were Avery Joe and I sending each other pictures just now back and forth on Instagram? We sure were. Yeah, we were. Hey, Avery Joe. Yeah, so double digits. He's 10. And I don't y'all want to hear like the birth story real quick? It's kind of a cool story, but I also want to be respectful. I know not everybody is into hearing birth stories. So like let me know in the comments if you want to hear just a little bit about it. And thank you for all the happy birthdays. I did see we have some new members, so that's very exciting. This is for you guys. Welcome, Madeline, Esther, and Angela L. Oh, that was perfect timing. My laugh sounds so ridiculous. I promise you guys, I feel fine. I just sound really interesting. Okay, yeah. If the birth story is not your thing, we'll just do it like any other kind of content warning. I'll wave my hand when I'm done. And yep, exactly. So if you guys are not into it, I want to make sure that I respect that. But I think it'd be kind of cool for those that want to hear it. Gavin's birth story. So I'll give everybody a second to mute. Okay, so I don't even know that it's like a long drawn out story, but I did have him in the hospital. It was a water birth. And Rachel, I'm so sorry for all the ketones that I sipped on, and happiest of birthdays. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you for your patronage. A bird story. Yeah, it probably sounds like that because of how my voice sounds, but thank you for the super chat, Rachel. So I had him in a hospital, but it was a water birth. Fun little fact, my husband has delivered both of our children with the help of a midwife. I also had a doula with my son, and we have a really cool picture. I'm not going to show it on the internet because the girls are out in the picture. But my mom is taking the picture. She's standing in the doorway of the bathroom. I'm in the birthing tub. And my daughter was in the room as well. And my husband was in the birthing tub with me. And he actually caught Gavin as he was coming out. And my daughter was like this on my husband Jerry's shoulders. So my mom caught a picture of that. And you could see like the girls are out. You can't really see anything else. You see Gavin's head, and you can see my husband kind of from the side, and you can see him smiling as he's picking him up out of the water. And my daughter's like this. So like super cool. It was a really, 9-day difference from when I had Mia, but first time baby, second time baby. But yeah, so that was 10 years ago today. I had just had my water broken about 2 hours or so by this point 10 years ago. So crazy. I have a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. What? All right. So we're done with the birth story. I appreciate you guys. Very cool moment. And we're going to have dinner. We're going to do presents. I got a giant cupcake we're all going to split. And then he has his birthday party this weekend. So am I going to be a little bit out of breath? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm still fighting a little bit of the congestion, although my body feels fine. So in case everybody's hopping on at different times, I am going to sound a little crazy at times. Hey, what are you doing? Speaking of the birthday boy.
Since it's my birthday, can I get something?
What do you want to get?
Mars DLC. It has a bunch of Martian weapons.
How much is it?
Like $10.
What about the presents on the table?
I'm excited to open those, but since it's my birthday.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
You want to say hi?
ASMR.
No, that's too loud. That's too loud. You're right by the mic. Okay. You got to warn people if you're going to do that. Go get your game. Get out of here.
With them.
No. Love you. Enjoy your whatever you're buying. Aliens or something. I know. Give him whatever he wants. It's fine. $1 per year. Yeah. All right. So let's get into today's video. The other update I wanted to give you guys, and content warning, I'm going to be talking about food, relationship with food, weight loss, those types of things. So I will wave if you don't want to hear this little kind of life update. I will wave. So I'll give everybody just a second to mute if they don't want to hear, which I understand. So at the beginning of this week, I started a deficit with my coach. I was actually pretty nervous about it. I was nervous and I was excited because of past habits and behaviors that were not good. And I'm currently doing a 300 calorie deficit. And so I'm taking in 1,800 calories a day, 150 grams of protein a day. I started my new workout regime on Tuesday was the first day I went, and then I went again today. And hello, Samantha, joining from the treadmill. Turn that up a level, okay? I know, you know. Just kidding. And so I'm really excited about how I feel this week. I don't feel hungry. I'm not feeling. I will make sure that I mute every time I cough. Yes, Vin. What'd you do?
I didn't think fast enough, and it said Lost on Mars DLC, and it said GTA on the bottom.
What does that mean?
Grand Theft Auto.
You downloaded Grand Theft Auto?
No, it said on the library because I looked at Grand Theft Auto a while ago. And Lost on Mars DLC was on the top, and I clicked on purchase on Lost.
How much was that?
It was like $10. I don't know how much GTA was.
Okay, but I don't want you playing GTA.
I don't.
Okay. Thank you for telling me. That's okay. I understand mistakes happen. I'll talk to you when I'm done here, okay? It's all good, dude. Oh. Anyways. Oh, thanks, Anna. Yeah, 150 grams of protein a day, 1,800 calories. And we figured out that my maintenance is about 2,100 calories. So I'm really only cutting like 75 calories a meal. And I'm excited because I'm seeing the scale change. I'm not excited about like I would in the past, just the scale changing and being exciting about seeing the number change. I'm excited because I feel like I understand my body. I understand what's going on in my body. So yeah, anyways, that's all I have to say about that. I have lost a couple pounds since Monday, which is I immediately text my trainer and was like, Susan, should I be alarmed? Is this too much weight loss? Because the goal is 1 to 2 pounds a week, which we talk about a lot on this channel. And so the fact that I've already lost 2 pounds, I'm like, is this okay? She goes, no, you might see like an initial fat loss and then it'll kind of stabilize. So I want to drop a little body fat, maintain the muscle, and we'll see where I am at the end of this cycle, you know? Anyways, I'm done talking about that. So everybody can come back in if you had it muted. He's a great kid. Both of these kids. I don't know what I did to deserve them, honestly. Yeah. I just got out of my check-in with Susan a little earlier. Oh, Avery Joe, message me and tell me everything if you want. Okay, so today's video is a frontline training that was sent to me by multiple people. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you so much. And I have watched, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of it. It's a 40-minute video. So we're going to be here a while. Yeah. Yeah. So prepare yourself. I'm going to read some of these. I want to read this comment real quick. You may see some drop from losing. Yeah. If less sodium or fewer carbs, so that first week can be funky, even when you do it right. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you know I will. Also, Queen Cosmetics. This is FaceTime. Not sponsored, not affiliated, but would love to be. Anyways, so it's a frontline training. Frontline, if you don't know, hey, it's EMLM. This voice is just going to be what it is today. So frontline basically means personal to Jessie Lee. And that's what this training is. It's her frontline. There is some interesting culty language, in my opinion. But before we do any of that, yeah, Queen Cosmetics. Yes, that's going to be the next step. I want to get a black lip gloss because I think that would be so cool. I have like 4 or 5 different colors of the lip gloss now. Anyways, we'll do a whole nother live on that one. Yeah, buckle up for a wild ride. But first I need to run the disclaimer. So hang on. Okay. All right. So let's get into this. As always, drop your commentary. And if you have not already subscribed, it'd be cool if you did. Like the video. And Brandy, I totally missed this. Hilarious. Tara from the 3-way Zoom video. She is a queen. All right, let's go.
That, and then we'll give them a second. Why I have those of you on here.
This is Rendy. Everybody meet Rendy. I've talked about her on my channel before. She was in Modair. Fun fact, she was one of the people, in my opinion, that contributed to a group of us, myself included, being terminated from Modair, and then later joined Jessie Lee in her front line. It's funny how that happens. Money is quite the motivator, I suppose, when you're allegedly asked to leave a company. Again, not stating that as a fact. That's just my opinion. But it sounds to me like things were not all roses over at Modair. But, you know.
I dropped in the Frontline chat the link to the wait list for August business camp. We're mixing it up a little next month. So even if you've done it before, you're going to want to do it again. Okay. So make sure you join that chat. Nothing's happening in that chat, you guys. It's just a holding tank. Okay. So
oh my God, turn your notifications off. It's not that hard.
Then when we get the group set up, I can send the link and you can all join. So you're not missing anything. If you think you're missing, you join and you're like, I can't see the previous post or whatever, you're not missing anything. It's just a holding tank. Okay.
Turn off the notifications, Rendy.
Okay. All right. I posted the link and now they're all coming in. Frida is in. Darlene is excited.
I don't know why. The way that she just said that reminded me of Bridesmaids, the movie, where she's on the airplane and she's like, I'm excited.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, so I want to start off by reading you something that I shared on Level Up training. So it's been a few months, but I thought that we could all use the reminder.
Okay. So you're just going to recycle old content rather than coming up with something new that might actually benefit people. That tracks.
Of that. because everyone loved it so much at Level Up. And I think in the season of business that we're in the season of the empire that we're in, the season of the world that we're in, we all kind of need that reminder. So I'm going to read it to you. All right. So this is how we're going to start the call, with a little mindset boost to help you get in the right mindset to finish the month. Sometimes the hardest part of business is just...
I'm sorry. Your training is going to be reading from a book that people could purchase and read on their own. That's your training? Cool.
Showing up. This business is a volunteer business, which means you can choose to show up or you can choose to not show up. You will never be fired for not showing up, but your business will be affected.
Imagine thinking that adopting children is a part of your brand and a way to connect with other adoptive parents to try and recruit them, and thinking that's okay, thinking that's ethical. Rendy, that's embarrassing. Oh my God.
Showing up does many things. It recharges your battery for your business. It makes you remember to treat this like a business. It keeps you motivated, engaged in fighting for your purpose, your what, and your why.
You forgot a sentence there. It also prevents you from critically thinking. Yeah, forgot that part though.
Don't show up, our batteries get low. We forget that this is our business. And if we are not motivated, if we are not engaged, then we begin to live day to day and not fight for our purpose and the reason why we started. Showing up will help your business grow, and not showing up will make your business slow.
I don't think that's how that works. See, I have a TikTok, by the way, that's going to be going up around 6 my time. And it's a quote from an MLM coach. And she's basically saying, you know, social selling is very similar to joining a gym. That was what she was going with, like using her whole chest. And here's the thing. Just by me showing up at the gym, let's say I check in, I walk in the gym, I don't do anything. That's not the same. The reason I'm bringing this up is because Rendy's example of, oh, well, you know, as long as you keep showing up, you know, business is going to be great for you. That's not how business works. Also, you guys don't own your own business. You could be terminated at any time, like they just did to somebody that was a rank 6 that was doing the same affiliate program that some of the top leaders allegedly in Pruvit are also doing. But this person was terminated because of it. I find that fascinating. The rules apply to thee, not to me. That's Pruvit, in my opinion. But anyways, you don't just show up and business just naturally happens. You don't show up in a sales job and you just naturally make sales. There's skills that you have to learn. Also, I'm not talking about the skills that some of these individuals like to say, oh, you know, you got to learn the skills. No, that's called manipulation, in my opinion.
In life, we have to show up to get where we want to go. So I want to give you some examples of what I mean by that. In sports, you have to show up to practice or you don't get to play in the game, or you don't make the team. In school, you have to show up to class or you're not going to pass. In work, you have to...
But see, in school, you don't just show up. You also have to study. You have to practice. You have to learn the formulas if it's a math class. You have to learn the formulas if it's a physics class. You have to learn the different chemical compounds if it's a chemistry class. You have to learn the different life cycles if it's a biology class. So there's things that you have to learn, and just showing up, that's not going to get it done. And I'm sure she's probably like, yeah, exactly, Erin. Okay, but you don't own a business. And you're saying just show up. Well, what are they showing up to? Indoctrination to prevent critical thinking. What am I doing? I'm not really seeing any results. Just go to the next training. When was the last training? There is a reason people like this, in my opinion, and myself included. I used to say this to my team too. You know, I don't know. I'm questioning. I'm not really sure. This doesn't feel like it's working for me. And I'd be like, well, when was the last training that you attended? Oh, it's been a couple of weeks. We've been really busy. Yeah. Maybe I can see you on Wednesday's training. It's because it's an indoctrination tool. It's a manipulation tool. That's what she's talking about here.
Show up or you get fired. In parenting, you have to show up or your kids will be neglected. In the gym, you have to show up or you won't get results. In marriage, you have to show up or that relationship is not going to work. In friendship, you have to show up or you're going to lose your friend.
Imagine the long list of friends this person has left or lost. How do you want to word that? How do I want to word that? Yeah, lost. Crazy.
In life, we have to show up or we will never get where we want to go. So
Oh
why?
my God, Brandy.
Hear me right now. Listen. So why in this business is it so easy for you not to show up? It's time to evaluate what we want and why we want it. It's
all of it. All of this example that she's giving is nothing but false equivalence fallacies. All of it.
Time to show up. Never had I had anyone tell me that they regret showing up in this business. Never have I seen anything but
never. The anti-MLM movement and the FTC beg to differ. Yeah.
But greatness happen when people commit to consistently showing up.
Randy, turn your notifications off. It's really not that difficult, and I promise you're not missing anything.
But I see it all the time. The repercussions on why not showing up. Repercussions on not showing up. So it's time to commit, believe, and decide and freaking show up.
Just want to give y'all a shout out for showing up, whether you're here live or you're on the replay crew.
We all in a better mindset space now? All right. So here's what I know. I said this the other day. I don't know if it was to you guys or I made myself sweat.
Probably because you knew this was a piss poor training already, in my opinion.
I don't know if I said this to you or to my personal team, but the number one reason, if I could give you one reason, only one reason on why I've had success in this industry, do you want that one reason?
Because you brought your teams from previous companies, scaling all the way back to Advocare, allegedly. I don't know. That could be it. Also, I don't know, but I just wonder if she, I gotta sneeze. I just wonder if she got a bridge contract with Modere. Also, by the way, if any of you, because I like covering the things that have not been covered, that they like to keep secret, like the three-way Zooms, the three-way chats, those types of things. If you have access to a bridge contract, I don't have to include your name. I'll blur all of that out. But I think it would be very interesting to show what bridge contracts look like. I have one that's allegedly Jesse Lee's that has John Melton's name on it as well from Modere. I'm not saying that she accepted a bridge contract into Modere. I'm just saying I have a copy of it, as does Clowntown. So that came directly from John Melton to somebody else. I'm just saying, I'm not saying she accepted it. I'm just saying we have the email with their names on it. So that's interesting. But if you have one, I would love to see it. I would love to talk about it. I would love to use the comp plan and show some of the moving parts of the bridge contract, because that's not something that's talked about a whole lot. And I'd love to just blow up their spot. You know, I would love that. As a Wendy, I'm feeling Aaron's heat and I'm sorry. I'll turn my notifications off, I swear. This is Rendy, though, with an R, not a W, so you're good. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for your patronage.
I show up consistently no matter what. If I'm sick, if life is sucking, listen. I wasn't going to be a coach for business camp. Let me give you an example. Business camp live, I was not going to be a coach because
Randy, tell us how important you are. Tell us how your life is so much harder than other people's and how you still showed up so we can give you a gold star. Drop a gold star in the chat for Rendy, because
I'm in the middle of moving my family to another country. But then Courtney gave me a spanking.
oh my God.
And I realized, you know what? I'm going to move some things around. I got a hotel room that day. So I would have uninterrupted quiet time and uninterrupted Wi-Fi.
That's called privilege, Rendy. That's what that is. Oh my God.
To coach Business Camp Live. Is it convenient? Hell no.
God, you're such an example of a leader, Rendy. That's sarcasm, by the way.
But I'm doing it anyway.
Oh my God.
So no matter what's going on in your life in this business, like you have to show up. But so many times we don't treat this like a 9-to-5 type job.
Yeah, you know why that is? Because people that have a 9-to-5 job typically get paid. But in Pruvit, you don't. Unless, of course, you bring your whole team from the previous company and you have all these quick promotions, because, yeah.
If your boss says you need to go do XYZ every single day, Monday through Friday, or you're going to get fired, you're going to do it.
Yeah, and you know what else? When you clock in and you do the things that your boss has asked you to do, you're going to get paid for the time that you did those things. So, I mean, another false equivalence fallacy. That's really what I should have called this.
But if we're giving you the high directives of what to do every single day in this business,
High directives.
why aren't you doing it? Your 9-to-5 is not going to lead you to a life of freedom. It's not going to.
Your MLM is going to lead people to be in financial ruin. So there's that,
Bombastic side eye.
I'm just saying.
Lead you to time freedom. It's not going to lead you to those dreams that you have buried inside of you.
Guys, if you're not already following Heather C., you should. She's amazing.
This business, pruvit business, is what's going to lead you to all of those freedoms. But yet so many people are not willing to do the daily activity to build that. So if I could give you one thing that I do that has led me to success, I show up consistently.
And I bring my team from my previous companies. Got it. Write that down. Oh, wait, I have the perfect sound.
Write that down, write that down!
No matter what. I don't care how inconvenient it is. I show up.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Oh,
And you're on
God.
such a roll, but I think
You're on such a roll, but can I interrupt you in my Christmas sweater? Cool. Thank you. Courtney, stop. I already know what's coming. Just let Rendy do her training without you coming in. Oh my God. This is going to be a hot mess. Prepare yourselves.
so many people struggle with this. Like how many of you guys on here feel like, what do you mean, Rendy? You're doing so much. Of course, you should be able to take time and not feel obligated to train on the Saturday call. Like if that was your thought, like that's real life, like this.
But she said that, and you told her in whatever words that that wasn't okay. So which is it, Courtney?
This opportunity and the way, yeah, Donna, thank you. She shows up so much. So I didn't actually say, Rendy, you should be training on this. It's not how I did not give her that type of spanking.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, how do you know when the level of you show, like there hits a point where you knew that you were showing up, but you also knew that you had so much going on in your life. Did you have an awareness over that was causing you to show up differently because of everything that's going on in your life? Like it caused you to show up in your business differently. So you're like, you know what? Or like, what was that process like for you? Because I think so many of us hit those walls where our real life outside of this community, we start to feel the kind, like the walls getting closer and closer and closer to us. And we feel like we're doing as much as we can right now. So how do we stretch ourselves to that next point?
I feel like she hit her word count with that. I guess that was one question. I'm not really sure. Can you repeat that, Courtney?
I kind of gave you a lot in there. Just tell me your thoughts.
Okay, so I have to say this. I feel like, and she didn't call me out by name like she said, but I don't even remember. She said something, and I immediately felt guilty on the inside.
Oh, okay. So what Courtney said was manipulating you to show up even though you were moving to another country. We're not talking about, moving several miles away to another state. We're talking about moving to another country. I bet she's moving to Dallas. I bet you she is. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think.
And I think we all have that little voice inside of our head. We may think we're busy. Our schedule is full. Our calendar is jam-packed. There's so much going on. I feel like I'm drowning. But at the end of the day, like, you got to call yourself on your own BS. I knew if I really wanted to make it work, I could make it work. End of story. And so I feel like you have to.
Gold star for Rendy in the chat, because look at her showing up.
Listen to that inner voice. If your inner voice is saying, okay, let me give you an example. If you sit down after a long day at your 9-to-5 job to turn on to watch Love is Blind on Netflix.
I'm sorry. Who is going to watch Love is Blind on their 9-to-5? This is her leading into yet another false equivalence fallacy. Although, where are my Love is Blind fans? Because I am one. I love that show. Also, what was the other one? The Ultimatum. Where are y'all at? Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's talk about it. Maybe in the DMs or something. But who's going to watch? I mean, I suppose that there are some jobs where that is acceptable, that's a case by case basis, I suppose. But she's giving this extreme example and trying to say you wouldn't do it at your 9-to-5. So why would you do it here? Night and day difference between a 1099 contracted worker and a W-2 employee. Very different.
Listen, Linda. I guarantee you there's a little voice inside your head that's saying, Rendy,
y'all are my people.
You could be following up with all your saga leads right now, but instead you're about to fill your mind with garbage, okay? All of us have that little.
Instead, you're filling your mind with garbage. Hey, Rendy, what do you think the people that are listening to your training when you were live are filling their minds with? Garbage. Yeah, in my opinion. Oh, Lord. Hey, Stephanie, thank you so much for this sad beige star for Rendy.
Thank you for your patronage.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Voice inside of our head that's going to speak to us when we know we have more to give. Every single time it's going to speak to you. And so even if your plate is really full, I mean, my plate right now, it is like, it's crazy full. But
you're so important, Rendy. Nobody is as busy as you. Nobody has a calendar as full as you. And look at you still, recruiting people probably from the previous company, in my opinion. Look at you go. You go, girl. Again, that's sarcasm.
But you see, I'm the type of person where I know if my plate's going to be full, I am aware of that. And I set myself up for success. So I am not like my husband. I do not wait till the day before to pack to move.
I would never talk about my husband like that on a training. But see, this is very on brand for this team. Her upline likes to use team members as what not to do while she collects the check on what they are doing. So that's very on brand to be like, listen, I am so prepared. I have everything figured out. My calendar is so full. My kids have been packed forever. I have been packed forever. And my husband waits until the night before. Oh my
to another country. Okay. I have been packed for days. Okay. My children have been packed for days. I have shipped things from Amazon already to our house in the States so that it's all there. So I don't have to spend time going to the store and shopping for stuff when I.
Gold star in the chat for Randy. I feel like I should have done like a counter, like a look at me, look how great I am, look at me having it all together, even though I'm so busy, I'm continuing to show up, like counter or something like that. I feel like that's what I should have done here because yikes.
I could be building my business. I am going to set myself up for success so that I have more time to focus where I know I need to focus. All of you have that awareness and that clarity around what you need to do and how you can pour back into your business better. You just got to do it. You just got to listen to that voice inside that's saying, Courtney,
Angela, you are speaking my language and I love it.
You have time. You just need to do it. You just have to make that time. And so it's just getting it done no matter what, like making it happen absolutely no matter what. And when you have that mentality, like it will work. Let me tell you, when I started in this profession 10 years ago, my very first event, there was a leader on the stage that said, cut your cable. Now I understand most people nowadays don't have cable.
Was that Ray Higdon? Did Ray Higdon tell you that 10 years ago?
You have like Netflix and Hulu and all these streaming services, but 10 years ago, that wasn't a thing. Okay. He said, cut your cable. So in 2013, we literally cut our cable. We turned.
Gold star in the chat for Randy. Cutting the cable off so you're more productive.
It off. No more TV. We didn't watch TV for years. Probably the first 5 years in our building our business, we did not watch TV, not one time. Not once. So it's a matter of like a balance game. Like, what are you willing to give up in order to build this business? And be aware around what that looks like for you. Does that make sense? So what does that look like? What can you get up? What can you give up right now? Like, what can you push aside in order to show up differently in your business? Maybe that's TV. Maybe it's, partying or, whatever season you're in. There's something that you can do.
First of all, if you are on this person's team, if you're in this company, if you're a part of the empire, you don't need to give up things that bring you joy. It's okay to not be productive all the time. It's okay to take a day off just because you want to take a day off. It's okay to lay in bed. It's okay to do whatever feels right for you in that moment. Mental health is a real thing. So being productive all the time and feeling like you have to just constantly be giving and giving and giving, that's not healthy. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay to watch your favorite Netflix show, like, Love is Blind or The Ultimatum. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Enjoy the things that bring you joy.
To shift things around in order to build this business differently. Okay. Is it bad? I can avoid TV, but feel like I would like to lose it if I didn't have it. Just get rid of it.
No, don't get rid of it. Don't listen to Randy. Don't do that.
Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Because here's what happens too, especially if you have children. If you don't have it, guess what? Your children aren't watching it either. So they're being more productive.
Maybe don't tell other parents how to parent. Maybe stay in your own lane. Yeah. Maybe mind your own business when it comes to people and how they choose to parent. That would be my advice. Just my opinion.
Doing art. They're playing outside. They're running. They're swimming. They're, sidewalk chalking. They're doing all.
While you're staring at your phone, acting like you're so important on a Zoom, I bet.
All kinds of things instead of watching TV. So you can be the example in that way too for your kids when you remove that kind of stuff. And so when I say I always show up no matter what, like I do. Like I
Gold star.
can tell you a couple years ago, it was like this massive Black Friday sale. It was the end of 2019, you guys. I'm pretty sure I had some version of some kind of virus that hadn't even come to life yet.
Oh, you mean COVID? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, because that's a real thing. Yeah. Why are they always like this? Because it was something that we didn't know was a thing. Just why can't you call it what it is? I just feel like when people are not willing to call it what it is, it's like dishonoring the people that passed from it. Like, oh, that didn't really happen. It happened. People died from it. Call it what it is. Don't be weird about it. That's just my opinion. I know everybody's going to have their own opinion, but like, it's a real thing.
Okay. And was like on, I don't know if y'all all have kids, but when your kids are little and they like can't breathe and you have to hook them up to the nebulizer machine.
Because of asthma?
Okay. I'm sitting there doing 3-way chats with the nebulizer strapped to my face and I'm working, like I'm getting it done. Like no matter what, like no excuses type mentality, because those are the moments. Those are the moments when you really, really stretch yourself like that is when you have breakthrough.
She has done nothing but talk about herself this entire time, and we are 13 minutes and 42 seconds into her video. She has done nothing but talk about herself and how she has shown up. Hey, Rendy, in case you see this, that's not training. I'd like to say something else, but I'm not somebody that can diagnose, so I'm not going to. But I find it really interesting that all you've done is talk about yourself.
Firm believer in that. That was the biggest month ever in my business career too, by the way. And I was like half the month sicker than a dog, but I showed up.
Oh, gold star.
So you just have to make that decision. Like, what is that going to look like for you? How are you going to show up differently in your business? But then you have to do it consistently.
You know what infuriates me about stuff like this is there are people that are probably on this or that were on this, I don't even want to call it training, this Zoom, if you will, that probably got off of it and felt horrible, felt like complete failures, felt like, I'm not doing enough. Rendy cut her cable and here I am, watching whatever, I'm just lazy. And I just feel like people there are people more than likely, in my opinion, that were on that and got off and felt terrible about themselves, the way that they are, operating their 1099, whatever, however you want to word that. I just think that it's really gross. I think that what she's trying to do here is to shame people into cutting everything out and only working on the commercial cult stuff. Because I do think that Pruvit, in my opinion, is a commercial cult. We're seeing lots of the bite model type things in this video, in particular, behavior control, information control, time control, emotional control for sure. And I'm not going to obviously go down every individual thing within those categories, but I definitely see some of the bite model in this. And that makes me think people probably out of guilt and feeling shame, they were like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to show up. I'm going to do all of this. And I just think it's really sad. I think it's really sad. And Rendy, you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, you're probably not, because all you've done is talk about you, but this isn't training.
I see it every single day in this profession. People showing up and they're like all about it for like 5 days in a row. It's like the reels, the posts, the stories, the everything. They're excited and oh my gosh, I'm going to rip the lid off this thing. And then it's like, it's crickets. What? Because you didn't see any kind of growth in 5 days. So you're just going to throw in the towel?
Because that's the only option is people that showed up for 5 days. What about people that showed up for 5 months? What about people that showed up for 5 years? What about people that consistently went live for years on end and put content up for years on end, kept the auto ship going, went to all of the training events, and they never even broke even? What about those people? There's a lot of different variables in all of this. It's not a black and white thing, which is, again, what she's trying to do here. She's trying to make this black and white comparison. And there's so much gray area in this that you can't really do that. There's, people that have been in for 5 weeks and 5 months and 5 years. And you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just very black and white of her. And again, I feel like it's just her trying to control what people do. Like, oh, you showed up for 5 days. Okay. And, oh, you didn't get results? Yeah, that's on you. It's only been 5 days. Give it another 5 days. Give it another 5 days. Give it another 5 days. Oh, it's been 5 months. Give it 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It's
those people that are going to show up consistently every day for years in order to see breakthrough. You have to have that strong mindset that even when you're not seeing fruit, you're planting the seed.
She just proved exactly what I was just saying. I have not gotten to this part of the video, so I find it really interesting. I didn't pre-watch to this point, I guess I should say. So it's interesting that I'm saying this is what she's trying to do. What about all of the gray area in all of this? And she's like, yeah, well, just because you've been in for several years and it's not fruitful yet, it doesn't mean it won't be. Keep showing up. You've got to have a strong mindset.
But most people don't stick around long enough for the harvest. So what is that going to look like? Because here, listen, this feeling just popped into my body just this second right now. Here's what I know. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I really want this for Jessie Lee. Jessie Lee wants the Frontline.
I take it back. I have heard this before. My apologies, because I remember when she said this and I was like, oh my God. And it was right after this that I stopped listening. So I apologize. I did hear the previous part.
To explode. She wants it so badly for each and every one of you. She has said multiple times to me, I want more Frontline champs.
Now, guys, let me get my lip gloss. Why would that be? Why do you think she would want more people in her Frontline that were selling at least 30,000 or more a month? Well, I'm not even going to answer that. You guys just let me know in the comments why you think that might be. Just makes me wonder if people are leaving the company, leaving the team.
She believes in us so much, and she wants each and every one of you to have that growth.
The funny part about this is that when you have a champ under you in Pruvit, there are different bonuses and such that you get. So Rendy's trying to spin it, knowing she probably has champs under her, knowing what kind of extra bonuses she gets when people hit champ, and you get a percentage of their downline check or whatever, not car bonus, champion bonus. I don't remember the exact terminology, but she's trying to spin it like Jessie Lee wants this so bad for you guys. Yeah, because when she has more Frontline champs, she makes more money. That's the only reason. And I'd venture to say that there's probably a lot of people leaving this company, as there have been for the last few months, allegedly.
But she can't. Do you think Jessie Lee reaches out to me every morning and says, okay, Rendy, let's go. What are we going to do today? No. You have to be self-motivated by your purpose and your why and what you want different in this business to wake up every single day and be like, I'm going to do the damn thing today. And I'm going to do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Can you imagine? The joy? Remember, that's her word this year. The joy every time the Frontline pops a new champ, how much joy that would bring her, knowing
that she was going to be making more money off of that champ? I'm sure that would bring her joy. Yeah.
that in this season, maybe she can't show up for each and every one of us the way that she so badly wishes she could, but the joy that she would feel knowing that each and every one of us are so self-motivated in what this can be for our family, that we're going to show up every single day. We're going to do it, and you're going to be a champ. Can you imagine the joy that that would bring to her? I don't know about you, but that lights a fire under my you-know-what right now.
Don't do it for yourself. Don't do it for your family. Do it for the cult leader, in my opinion.
Clearly, because I'm sweating like a freaking piglet over here. I'm getting so fired up.
100% yes, in my opinion.
Okay, so I don't know what you need to do to light a fire under your butt, but each and every one of you can be a champ.
But see, the statistics and data on Pruvit's own income disclosure statement show that that's not the case. So
You just have to do it. And I just got off that Empire call and I got a spanking too. I'm like, well, clearly I need to do more reels because they're freaking, if you go look at Germany's Instagrams, they all have like 30,000+ followers and they've all like doubled it in a matter of weeks because of reels. So if you did not watch that, you definitely need to watch the
So my question is, let's see the conversion ratio. You can get a bunch of followers from reels. Sure, every time I put up a reel, I gain more followers. Got it. However, and I bet there's many of you that put out content like that. You probably could say the same thing. But I would love to see the percentage that they in Germany, that based on this example, are converting that to some sort of sales. Because if you're in a sales job, that's the analytical data that matters. Okay, you're getting in front of more people. Okay, all right. Who are you converting? It's all fine and dandy to get in front of more people, but if you're not converting them, it's like a participation trophy.
replay. It will be posted in the Empire on how to do the reels, use Instagram, and blow up, because Germany is up. Like they are in the green in all of their numbers.
According to what? Also, Ginny, thank you so much for being a member for 11 months. What she says, what, if anything, do you think Rendy had to agree to for Jessie Lee to support or stack her after what happened with leaving Modair? I mean, I don't know. I think that Jessie Lee has probably spun this like, oh, I'm such a forgiving person. This was a money thing. Let's just be real. This was all about money. She knew Rendy was going to come over and that she was going to bring team members and she was going to move up the ranks quickly because she's bringing people over from a previous company. It's a money thing, in my opinion. And so I think that it was, oh yeah, I'm going to act like I am forgiving people, but really at the end of the day, who's getting paid off this? Jessie Lee is, So that's just what I think. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But Ginny, thank you for being a member for 11 months. I appreciate you.
Nobody's down in Germany. Everybody's up, number-wise.
Okay. Since we're talking about numbers, let's see the conversion ratio, the conversion rate, excuse me. Let's see it.
So we need to start. Yes, you can watch last week's, 2 weeks ago. Andrea started the real conversation on the Empire, and then you.
Wit, what is up? Wit became a YouTube member. Welcome. So glad that you were here. This is for you. Welcome. My poor voice cannot. When I laugh, it sounds like I have a voice filter on. I do not. Ridiculous. Thanks for becoming a member, Wit. I appreciate you.
You can watch Florence's today, the replays, if you missed those, on how to utilize reels to literally double, triple, quadruple your Instagram following, because that was powerful. And I know myself, I need to start doing more.
By the way, those notifications, in case you are hopping on at some point after I talked about it, those are not my notifications. Those are hers. Her notifications are going off from the beginning of this to this point. I don't know if it will continue that way, but it's really not that hard to turn notifications off and focus on the task at hand. Not that hard.
More of those things. I may be a master at relationship building and, having a
Relationship building or manipulation? Because I feel like you might be confused between the two.
relationship with my team so that they continue to show up. But imagine if I continue to do that, plus added in all these reels on Instagram. Instagram is not my favorite platform. But imagine if I did it anyway, what would happen to my business?
Well, if it's not your favorite platform, that probably means that you're not posting very consistently. If you're not posting consistently, then that probably means that the algorithm is not going to work in your favor. So for running a hypothetical example here, I would say probably not a whole lot. Because, Randy, you got to keep showing up, right?
And then if I did it, guess what? Because of the relationship and the trust I have with my team, they're going to do it too.
Wow, she thinks she did something there with that. The manipulation is thick. You know what I'm saying? Good Lord. Also, we have another new member. Yay. Welcome, Jessica. Oh my God, my voice was so deep on that. Oh, thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate you.
So maybe reels and video and all of that thing is not your favorite thing. What if we just did it anyway?
Do it anyways.
What could happen? Imagine if you went from...
I mean, if it's not good content, it's not going to catch anybody's eye. So, again, there's a lot of gray area in all of this. Not every piece of content that people put out hits their target audience. That's a part of content creation, studying exactly what's happening. Some things are going to go crazy and others are not, and that's okay. But
from 1,000 followers on Instagram to 30,000 followers on Instagram organically.
Right.
What do you think would happen to your pruvit numbers?
Well, Randy, that would depend on their conversion rate. Because if they have these number of followers and they have these numbers of messages that they've had, and then you take that and you look at how many people from all of those aspects you actually closed into buying an overpriced energy drink, in my opinion. By the way, have you seen Brianna Jewell's video on that? You should go watch it if you haven't. I learned some stuff about the science of it. It was really cool. So you'd have to really kind of look at all of the analytical data, not just the fact that you gained more followers. Followers don't mean that you've converted sales. That's not how that works. So
do you think that they would double? Quadruple? Yes.
What? It would double or quadruple? I don't think that's how that works. Also, show us your sources on that. We would love to see that.
They would. You could be hitting MVP the first week of every month. So if you start doing reels today, plus all the stuff we talked about if you were on this morning's power hour, do you think you could hit MVP by the end of the month? And then obviously keep it up because you're going to start showing up consistently, and do it again next month and hit MVP. And then bam, you're in Cancun. Veronica's sweating too.
She thinks she is doing she thinks she's doing something. Just her whole body language is, do you think that you could do that? And then it's just weird to me. Let me just not even go there. It's just weird to me. She thinks she's doing something, but when you're not part of this team and you're stepping back like all of us are here, you can see how clearly this is manipulative. Unbelievable. She does think she's eating and
Cheryl has been going live for 100 days in a row.
Hey Cheryl, let's see the analytical data behind you going live every day. Other than the number of people on the live, let's see how many conversations you're having. Let's see how many you've actually converted into some sort of sales. Because yeah.
Darlene is well over 100 days in a row, 130 days in a row. But if you start doing reels with calls to action, then maybe you'll start converting those followers and seeing the reflection in that growth in your pruvit back office.
A few minutes ago, she said it would double, it would quadruple, it would. And now it's like, well, maybe that would help you and it would reflect in your pruvit back office. Which is it?
What y'all think?
For sure.
So then
also, Karina, I saw that you were sick earlier. I forgot to comment. I'm sorry, friend. I hope you feel better. That's the worst. You said it was a stomach bug. Ugh.
Imagine you do it this month, you finish the month with a bang, you do it next month, you lock in Cancun, you continue.
Do people have to pay to go to Cancun? Do they have to buy airfare? Are hotel accommodations and transferring from the airport and to the resort or whatever, is all of that covered? Or is that something that is going to have to come out of pocket for people that are already not making a ton of money and pruvit? And then they have to come out of pocket for that. And then I bet you anything, if there are certain accommodations taken care of by pruvit, it's on their 1099. So, because that's how that works.
And then bam, guess what? You're a champ.
All of you can do it.
You just got to show up and do it.
Girl.
That is the hardest thing for people, to show up. You show up every day and put food in your mouth.
False equivalence fallacy. Eating is a very basic necessity. Drinking water is a very basic necessity. If you don't do those things, it could be detrimental to your health. If you don't show up in your pruvit business, you're going to be just fine. In fact, you'll probably save money, and then maybe you'll start to heal. Maybe you work with a therapist and work your way out of cult-like language, like we're seeing from Rendy here. You work your way out of manipulative relationships. You work your way out of, just your everyday, how you go about life, because you have incorporated so much of this commercial cult, in my opinion, into your life that you forget how to live. So what she's doing is a false equivalence fallacy. Imagine thinking that comparing drinking water and eating food is the same as showing up for your MLM business. Are you kidding me?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Same, Michael. I feel you. Oh, and
you
the
show
stare.
up every day for your kids if you have them.
Not the same thing as showing up for your MLM. Oh my God. Oh, Randy, this is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you.
You show up every day to go to the bathroom when you wake up.
Because you eat the food that is a necessity for you to survive. You drink the water that's a necessity for you to survive. Therefore, you have to poop and you have to pee. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the same thing as an MLM.
You know how to show up. You just got to show up in your business.
You know how to poop. So show up in your business.
Cora shows up in that truck every day.
Same, Charlene.
Kind of helped Cora the other day kind of dig deeper on what kind of purpose and why was going to light a fire under her butt.
This is not somebody anybody should allow to dig deeper into anything that they're trying to do, just from what I have seen on this video. Absolutely not.
Maybe that's what you need to do too. Maybe you need to figure out, okay, why I started this business isn't what's going to get me to a champ. Listen, when I started 10 years ago, I just wanted enough to get a freaking pedicure, okay?
More Rendy talking about herself. Yeah. Do you guys remember, I don't know how long you've been a subscriber of the channel, but do y'all remember the video that she did with her best friend, who I believe is in Pruvit with her now? And they were talking about, I can't remember the number, but they were like, these are the 10 things wrong with network marketing. And it was basically like many of the things that the anti-MLM movement talks about often. And it was like she was trying to say, so we're going to do this different. So she was identifying all the things wrong with multi-level marketing, calling it network marketing with her friend, and is like, and that's why we're starting this group. And then however many weeks later, she ends up joining Pruvit. And I'm like, so was that a funnel? Were you running a funnel in this group knowing that you were going to be coming over to Pruvit? I'm not stating that as a fact. I find the timing of all of it interesting. But anyways, do y'all remember that video? Yeah, it was all backwards. Yeah, this was her. Yeah, I pointed this way. It's actually this way. This was her. Yeah. All the things wrong with multi-level marketing, joins Pruvit under Jessie Lee weeks later.
You think getting a pedicure every month was enough to get me to where I am today? No.
So you should be thanking your team for that, Rendy, because you're making money off of the people that have joined you in probably several companies, in my opinion. Also, Jennifer, thank you so much for this. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you for your patronage.
I had to dig deeper than that. So what is that going to look like for you? What is going to light a fire under your butt so hot that you're going to bust out as a champ? Maybe you've hit champ before, but you haven't hit it in a long time. You did it once. You can do it again. You are not a one-hit wonder. What?
Rendy.
What?
Rendy. Rendy, what are you doing? This is getting really culty real fast.
What were you doing for those of you that have hit it? What were you doing back then when you did hit it? What were you doing every day? Start doing that again. Cheryl wants to hit champ by 4 October. Let's freaking go.
Oh.
Does anybody have any questions I can answer while you have me all hot and bothered right now? Good heavens.
Ma'am, this is not the time or the place for you to be all hot and bothered. I'm just gonna play the video.
Darlene's fired up.
I bet.
New conversations. New conversations. I know you guys have heard me say it before. The person having the most conversations wins.
Why do they have to have new conversations if you're so good at relationship building? According to you. That's weird. You know what? I need that soundbite from the guy on, have y'all watched Skinwalker Ranch? It's on Hulu. By the way, don't listen to Rendy and cancel your cable or whatever, okay? Thanks, Jennifer. The voice it's a mess tonight, but you know what? I feel great, so it's okay. Have y'all watched Skinwalker Ranch? Yeah, get her a Snickers, because good Lord. He's a scientist. I think at one point he worked for NASA, and he worked for the government. Okay, you guys, some of you have watched it. You know how he says, that's weird. I need that as a soundbite because I could use that in so many things. But if you guys have not watched Skinwalker Ranch, then you won't get it. But those of you that have, you know what I'm talking about. He has that very country type, accent. And he's like, that's weird. I'm going to get that soundbite.
Who are you talking to? I know those of you that are in camp saw me post that post example. We're moving to a new neighborhood in the States, and I just took a family picture and I posted it in that neighborhood group on Facebook. And I said, hey, we're new to the neighborhood.
Little does she know, or her neighbors, little do her neighbors know that she's just going to try and recruit everybody. And it's going to get to the point where everybody is going to go to the mailbox and they're going to be like this. Here comes Rendy trying to recruit us and sell us these ketones. No, thank you. That's how that's going to go.
I am looking for kids, my children's ages, to hook them up with before school starts, so they're not walking into that new school in a new city all by themselves.
Did you also join adoption groups for the area so that you can, in my opinion, prey on other families that have adopted? Did that happen too, Rendy? Because that's predatory is what that is.
And it blew the freak up. Not only did the likes blow up, the comments blew up, my inbox blew up. And guess what?
Yeah, because people want to help. People are looking for community, and you are looking to take advantage of people's kindness by trying to recruit them into this. You are taking advantage of people truly wanting to help. And the sad part about it is every time there's scenarios like this where there's an MLMer and they join a group and, I'm looking for friends for my kids, or I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for that. And there's those kind individuals that are like, hey, yes, we have this, or you can do this, or, you're welcome to come over. We live down the street or whatever. Every time that happens, I feel like those types of people are like, wow, she was just wanted to be my friend because she wanted to recruit me. And then maybe they're less likely to help somebody else the next time. And I think that's really sad. And it's because of manipulation like this that happens. I mean, are there terrible people out there? Yes, absolutely. There's horrible people that do horrible things, of course. But I just feel like the manipulation and the deception specifically, she's only joining those groups because she's needing these new conversations. There's a reason that she's bringing this up after telling everybody, yes, you have to have new conversations. Look at what I did. More gold stars in the chat for Rendy, by the way, because all she's done is talk about herself. But this is, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, this is just, it's manipulative. It's deceptive. It just makes me sad because people are going to be less willing to be so open with the next person that might actually need some help because somebody said, tried to recruit them into an MLM when they joined the neighborhood Facebook group. And I just think that's sad.
Guess what happened this morning? One of those people that were in my inbox in that new neighborhood reached out to me about the business. Y'all, it worked.
One person. How many messages did you have, Rendy? How many new friend requests did you send or get? One person.
It works. You just have to do it. Was someone going to say something? Someone's unmuted, I think. No?
Donna, did you have a question? Or was it?
I'm so sorry. My son got a hold of my phone. Continue.
Oh, no, you're good.
So it works. So whether it is neighborhood groups, mom groups, pickleball groups, y'all, my husband, he is officially obsessed with pickleball. It is just, it's out of control. Okay. In our new neighborhood, there's a pickleball court in walking distance, and I thought he was just gonna pee his pants. He was so excited. Anyway, so whatever your group is, maybe it is like a dog group, a plant group. What else have some of y'all said that I've talked to you about? Empty nester group, whatever it is. That is how you can meet new people and grow your network.
Except you're not doing it just to meet new people and grow your network. You're doing it to recruit. You're doing it to build transactional relationships. You're not doing it because you want to get to know people. You're looking to make money off of people. And that's the only reason you're joining these groups. You're not looking for people just to hang out with, because when you're in a commercial cult like this, the people that you hang out with are the people that are also in the commercial cult. So you're not looking for friends. You're cosplaying like you're looking for friends. You're really looking for transactional relationships, for people that are going to continue to show up every day and come, get on the Zooms and attend the in-person things. And that's what you're really looking for. But you're not saying that up front. You're saying, hey, I'm looking for friends for my kids. I'm moving to a new area. I'm looking to meet people in the area. But you're being deceptive about it. You're not being upfront about it. And so people find out through the conversation that, oh, she's just wanting to recruit me or sell me this thing. That doesn't feel good to people. That's grimy to do that to people.
And I'm never taught. Did anything in my post that I just told you about talk about pruvit or ketones? No.
That's because you're following the 4-2-1 method that has been taught to us for many years. Randy, you're not doing what I think you think you're doing. You're just displaying all of your cards, and all of your cards are manipulation, deception, bite model things. Like this is terrible, honestly.
But it brought people to my page. It got more eyeballs on me.
Better said right here.
And that's what you want. Shalana, you could do what Florence does and talk about losing belly fat too with your little.
Except ketones. Well, first of all, not even ketones. You cannot spot, like you can't lose belly fat. You can't target specific areas of your body to lose fat. Your body's going to let go of that how it wants to let go of it. So like if somebody is talking about drinking ketones and it's helping me with belly fat, that's not how that works.
God. Fit Heine over there. I feel like that could be a good wheelhouse for you too.
So you're going to bring people in that are looking, if this is somebody that works out, like it sounds like Rendy was mentioning, if this is somebody that works out, she's going to say something like, oh, well, I'm looking for other people that can work out too. Or where do you guys go? Or I'm looking for a new gym, or I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for that. And these people are like, oh, cool. Somebody else to work out with, and then all of a sudden they're getting pitched this garbage. It's fraud. I feel like, let's be friends. Let's go to the gym. I'm talking about ketones the whole time. What's in your water bottle? I'm going to aggressively mix up ketones in the gym in my stores. You want to try it? Here, I brought you an extra pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's deceptive.
She's laughing at me. She knows. She knows. Go watch Florence's. I know she's probably not speaking our language, but you could probably get the idea what kind of reels she's doing over there on that. All right. Anybody have any questions? Fitness over 40, menopause. Yes.
Leave us over 40 people alone. We got it. We're good.
That's a really great point, though, you guys. I think so often you're overthinking how to share health as your brand. Like, what are the things that you actually enjoy talking to people about inside of health? What is it? Tell me. I want to hear, because Veronica just said fitness over 40. Do you enjoy having those conversations? Because you can really have funny conversations over fitness over 40. Like, there's a lot you can do inside of that. That can be your brand. That can be the value that you bring, and you niche it down to, well, how do I really want to create value for fitness over 40?
If you're not certified to give advice to people over 40 on their fitness journey or just their health goals, you should not be giving advice. Giving value, like they say, is nothing but a marketing tactic. Hey, I'm going to give you value, 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 value. And then it's the classic jab, jab, jab hook by what's his face. I can't think of his name right now. That's all that is. It's yet again trying to build fraudulent, deceptive relationships, trying to make money off of people. That's all it is.
What are the topics that I'm going to share? Shalana, you're in the gym every day at 4:30 a.m. I could not even. Like, I'm literally, no. Okay. But you make it happen.
Gary V.
So
thanks, guys.
what is it that you have value to give inside of that? Because I'm telling you right now, everyone wants to be healthier. Everyone.
And you know what? Everybody's version of healthy for them is going to be different. So to use a broad blanket statement of health, this is my health advice, is very dangerous because that is going to be different for everybody. And the only business that should be is that individuals and their medical, their doctor, whoever they're seeing for their medical care, that it's not an MLMer's business about somebody's health journey and how they define health for them. Ridiculous.
Every single person wants to be healthier. And each of you have a value offer inside of health that no one else can touch.
Except for other people in Pruvit, selling the same thing, doing the same thing, going live, doing the same reels, right? Except for them. Also, I find it really, really interesting that she's bringing some of this up because I feel like when you're in an MLM, where you're at is never good enough. It's never good enough. I mean, you have the large majority of people that are in MLMs that are losing money or not making any. 99.7% according to the FTC, by the way. But it's never enough. So if you make the first rank, second rank, third rank, you hit MVP or whatever, it's never enough. And I feel like it creates this wanting, this desire for more, but it's not a healthy thing. It's a competition thing, So it's like, let's say that you were to get another customer. All right, let's go get another one. Okay, you let's say that they rank advance. All right, now let's get to the next one. Like it's never enough. You don't sit and like celebrate and process and go, wow, that was really cool. I did this. And I'm speaking in general when it comes to MLMs. It's never enough. And so she's talking about all of this stuff. And I'm like, I saw this comment from Alpaca. And they said some people are happy where they're at, actually, but like that language does not translate to people, in my opinion, people like this in MLM, because they're not ever happy, in my opinion, with where they're at. They're constantly chasing the next thing, whatever that next thing is. It could be a first thing. It could be a first customer, a first distributor. They're constantly chasing it to the point where they lose sight of everything else and the MLM becomes the main thing. And that's the part that's really sad about listening to all of this.
Because Shalana, you were scared to walk in the gym the first time. You didn't want to go by yourself. You didn't want to show up at 4:30 a.m. I know you didn't. You have tips of value inside of those little key, so you can start talking about your health journey inside of that. I have focused on, ironically, I'm a busy mom. I work from home, right? I have all of that. And I am transforming my own health. And it really starts with your brain. It starts with mental. So the current calls to action that I'm playing around with are trying to get people to give them tips on focus, giving them tips on their mind, on their brain. So that is just one category of ways, like Florence was talking about, to attract people to you the same way that you're going to do going inside of groups. It's the same thing. So all of the things that Rendy's trying to figure out her niche and her branding too. And what is she going to do on her reels?
Thanks for being a member for 20 months. That's really cool. I hope you're doing well.
Shared that with us. So Rendy can also take those things of the groups that she's inside of, and she can now take those categories, create content of value the same way she would post inside of the group. And she can create a reel over giving someone, here's the pain point: losing belly fat, scared to walk in the gym. absolutely never see yourself. You want to get healthier, but you don't want to go to the gym. I mean, there's better hooks than that. But you see what I'm saying?
It's funny that she just mentioned hooks when I just mentioned that a few minutes ago. Don't you guys find that interesting? I did it for a long time, guys. A long time. I don't know how I did it. I have no idea. That's how I know some of the stuff that I do is because, one, I did it. So the call is coming from inside the house. Oh, man.
And so then you can give the reasons inside of that, the reasons why people don't want to go to the gym. The reasons why people aren't losing belly fat. The reasons why you should be fit over 40. Fitness over 40. I said it wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Use that as the point of making the reel, and then have them drop the call to action so you can give them your 3 to 4 tips. Fourth being ketones.
Oh, man.
It's just so simple. And even to the point of like Rendy making the post around getting people connected. She could even do the same thing in a reel, targeting her. It's not as easy when you're trying to target a specific area, you know what I mean? But she's not new to Texas, but Texas is not small. So she's in a newer city. She's not in Houston anymore. And so she can even ask for like moving to a brand new city.
I know it was. Oh, I saw this comment. Made me giggle. Wait, you were in an MLM? Yep. 6 of them over 13 and a half years. Yeah. I know you know that. Yeah, exactly. Are we talking about belly fat? Yeah. Wild. Do you guys mind if we take a very short break? Would that be okay? I'm going to use the facilities. I think this video is from the last few months. I'm not exactly sure. I've had this video for a little bit, but it's not that old from what I remember. Yeah, exactly. You cannot target belly fat. Can't do it. Yeah, a short knee break. That's funny. Yeah, let's take a quick little break, and I will be right back. What did you guys think of that? That music is such a vibe, I feel like. But anyways, okay. Let's get back into it. Hold on. Okay. Whew. Here we go.
What are ways that you get your kids? What are some activities that you, or something like that? Like asking a question for other people of a pain point of moving to a new city. She can talk about a pain point of it. My kids don't have friends.
Oh my God.
You know, so how is she solving that? She can give value.
So she is manipulating people. Love that. And that's also sarcasm. This is lotion from All the Little Things. It's Galactic Skies. Highly suggest it. Although typically when I suggest it, it is sold out, and I apologize ahead of time.
To other people of tips that she has with helping other people. You know what I'm trying to say?
Craig.
Giving tips
Hey,
that
Craig.
she has when moving to another city. Now, that's not necessarily a niche that she's going to have, right? Moving to a new city, because she's not military or anything like that. She doesn't move all the time. But we're overthinking our content value. We're overthinking just getting the attraction piece up. And I just wanted to share that, because that is exactly what we need to focus on, is how are we attracting people to us? And the second part of that, and this is where like the whole theme of the week, because otherwise Business Camp Live, how are we going to blow up to be champ if we're not talking to people? So we have to talk to people.
I wonder if this is from July, because I know they did like a Christmas in July thing, and that's why Courtney's wearing that, which would make sense. Because she said, I think Randy said at the beginning of this, what did she call it? Business camp for August, something about a waiting list. So I think this is from July.
We have to have conversations, and we have to get comfortable doing the things that actually scare us, like creating valuable content. Practice makes it better, and also have conversations with new people so you can understand, what questions do I actually have? If you don't feel like you have a question to bring to Rendy right now, it's because we're not taking enough action. We're not having enough new conversations with people to be able to say, Rendy, I had this conversation like this morning. I just had somebody reach out about the business. Here's what I said, but like la da 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 da, right? Like a question. Or I created this piece of content and da 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 da. Like, so we should be able to have questions. And if we don't, it's because, are we actually showing up at the level that we know that we're fully capable of? It's just the power of one more conversation.
The power of one more, which, by the way, that was like a whole training I did in the Empire. The power of one. Like, I went on this rant, and I was like, guys, it's just one more conversation. Like, I thought I was doing something so profound. Real talk. It was not. The power of one and things along those, what she's saying, are just ways to keep people indoctrinated for one more thing until they get a result. I'm going to do one more live, send one more message, put one more post up, follow up with one more person. It's just a way to manipulate people to do what they want them to do. That's all that is.
Just send one more message. Just create one more piece of content. Just try to sit down with AI just one more time, just for 10 more minutes.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but do not use Chat GPT in order to translate medical documentation or medical terminology. Okay? Don't do that.
To help plan out my content around this niche, just sit down one more time to get your I love that you love it, to actually figure out who is your ideal client that will actually have more powerful conversations, will create more powerful conversations, because you actually love to talk about the things that you're creating content around. Does that make sense? You're all like really head nodding before I was even asking. Stop trying to create content around topics that you don't even want to talk to people about, because that's why you're not starting new conversations. Comfortable talking about the business, and then all you're trying to share about is the business. It's not going to be as fun, right? It's not going to be as fun. And we kind of got a lot of value inside of that today too. Sorry, I went on a really long tangent. I'm passing it back to you, Randy, to close it out. Sorry.
So I just want to say a couple of things off of what you said. And I did have a conversation with Courtney, I think last week. I don't even, this whole move, I don't even know what day it is most days. I think it was last week. I don't know.
Because you're so busy. Rendy, you are so busy that you can't possibly know what day it is, even though your calendar is so booked. So like, you know what appointments you have that day. And even though on your phone, it probably says the date on your phone, you couldn't possibly know what day it was. That is a statement, in my opinion, where she is trying to make herself look busier and more important than anybody else.
I don't feel like I have ever had a really strong niched down niche. Okay.
Can we just stop with that? the overemphasis of people to all of a sudden join an MLM, know their brand, know exactly where, who they want to target and all of that. I'm saying target for a very specific reason. Brands and niches develop over time. You figure out what you get excited about. You figure out, all of those things as you go. But it's like backwards in MLM. They're like, okay, you got to figure out your brand. You got to figure out this. You've got to figure out, your niche, and you got to go with it. And it's like all of that kind of develops over time. That's a part of the content creation process. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to have it all figured out. It develops as you go, and that's okay. And then if you don't like that, you can change things. You can rebrand, not in the way that MLMers talk about, rebranding and relaunching. No, I'm talking about, well, I don't like these colors anymore. Or, I used to talk about this a lot. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to actually jump into talking about this. There's nothing wrong with that.
I really am passionate about people, okay? But I know
Also
that if I do niche down and find that little happy spot for me, that my business will explode even more, okay? So I've been trying to figure out, like, what is it for me? Because like you just said, like, if you're not passionate about what you're trying to create content about, that's not going to convert. They're going to see that you're not excited. And so I started thinking about, like, over the last 10 years, like, what kind of campaigns did I do, or what did I do that it got me really excited about what I was doing? And two things came to mind, okay? So I want to share those with you to try and, like, memory jog something that may be a good niche for you, okay? Maybe you could.
So she doesn't know her niche, but she's going to give advice to other people on what their niche should be. I'm just saying. Also, Rebecca B., thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. I appreciate you so much.
Think back on times where you felt really excited about something, really passionate about something, and this will help you kind of figure that out too. So number one of the times where my business exploded the most was when I started and actually completed and played full out, meaning I was posting about it every day, no matter what. In 2020, I did 75 hard, and I completed it, and I posted about it every day in my stories, on my walls, the before and after picture every day. Like, I blew it up, and I sold more product during those 75 days than any other 75-day period in 10 years.
I'm going to say this once. No, I'll probably say it a bunch of times on various videos. Please don't do 75 hard. Okay? I feel like that is so extreme, and speaking from somebody that's done it, I feel like it's extreme. I feel like it develops habits that are extreme, that are not healthy, in my opinion. And I think that these people in MLM use that as a way to manipulate people into doing what they want them to do. Because you'll see, like, cycles of them that will all of a sudden start 75 hard together, and it, like, trickles down within the team. Don't do that. Also, I saw a post from Teresa earlier, Teresa from It Works, that I talked about on the last video or live stream or whatever. I think it was a video. And I need to read this to you guys. Hold on a second. I have to read this because I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Hold on. Brace yourselves, because it was a wild post. Where is it? One moment. Okay, listen. I don't know why she put this out. Content warning for... I don't even know how to prepare you guys for this. Why am I bringing it up? Why did it come up now? I have no idea. I'm just going to read this, but the misogyny, that would be the content warning. In quotes, why would you demasculate America other than to conquer it? Is that She has an exclamation point. Is that a question or is that a statement? I don't know, Teresa. What's happening? Wake up, people. Masculinity isn't toxic. Working on raising men like their dad, like my dad. Dad is a proper noun and should be capitalized, Teresa, just FYI. I mean, I know I get that, I don't always, capitalize what needs to be, but just FYI, dad is a a proper noun. Muscles, brains, courage, chivalrous, and all. Andy Frisella for president. Teresa, I'm going to need you to take several seats, okay? Because that's disgusting. We don't like that.
But I was showing up because I committed to that and I was going to complete it no matter what. And I knew that if I
75 hard, which was why I was bringing up the post. I just didn't remember it was an Andy Frisella thing. Is something put together by Andy Frisella, who owns First Form and the supplement company, and has an affiliate program that is very, very similar to MLM, in my opinion. Also, yeah, more gold stars for Rendy. Yeah. And he has a challenge called 75 Hard, where you work out 2 45-minute sessions a day. You figure out how you want to eat, if you want to, be low carb or whatever. You drink a gallon of water a day. You read 10 pages of personal development a day. I can't remember what the other stipulations were on it, but for you to encourage people to work out twice a day, 45 minutes, that's not going to work for many people for many reasons. But yeah, that's what 75 hard is. And you'll see people do like, oh, I'm going to do 75 soft, or they've manipulated that a little bit, but it's just, I think it's and one of those workouts has to be outside. So I just think it's problematic. Maybe I should do a video on that. That would be a good video to do with my trainer, I feel like. I don't know, T. Craig. I'm with you on that. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I'm thinking back. The reason I'm pausing is because I'm thinking back to why I would be like, oh my God, Andy Frisella is amazing when I was in an MLM. And now I'm like, he says some pretty problematic things. And in my opinion, does some problematic things. Or says and does. Excuse me. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going.
posted about it every day, people were going to hold me accountable. So I don't know what that is for you, but figure it out. And then I thought, okay, well,
figure it out.
Back in 2018, I became a certified holistic nutritionist because I became really passionate about nutrition, most importantly about plant-based.
Where did you get certified as a nutritionist?
Nutrition. Okay. And so my whole certification was around plant-based nutrition. And I started eating plant-based. I ate strict plant-based for 2 years. And I had some autoimmune stuff going on. And literally my doctor wanted to put me on all this medicine. And I looked at him and I said, no. And I ate plant-based for 2 years. And then I had my blood work checked again. And guess what? No autoimmune anything showed up in my blood work. Okay.
I can feel the people that have to deal with autoimmune disorders raging in the chat. Like, oh, sure, it's easy. Let's get rid of the autoimmune disorder that I have had for however long by just eating plant-based. Yeah, that works for everybody. Guys, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah.
So I realized this morning in this moment, I saw someone post about
the notifications,
how they were making their dog plant-based dog food. Okay. That's not what I'm concerned about. You know, you have these keyboard warriors. Okay.
Oh my
Someone
God.
makes a comment on this post. They could have just kept scrolling, but they didn't. They commented on this post about how bad eating plant-based is. And I started sweating. And I realized Oh, look, is that passion? That's passion. I am passionate about that. Her comment triggers me because I am passionate because of what it did for my own health.
No. In my opinion, the reason you started sweating is because when you're in an MLM and somebody doesn't agree with what you're doing, it causes a very visceral reaction. Because, oh my God, everybody agrees with me because you live in an echo chamber. So I don't think that you started sweating because you were passionate. I think you started sweating because somebody was about to call you out and how problematic, more than likely, what you were saying really truly was, and that could eventually harm somebody. So I don't think you started sweating because you're passionate. I think you want other people to believe that, but I think that it's a very visceral reaction. And again, based on my own experience, when people don't agree with you in an MLM. Because you're used to everybody saying, "Yeah, that's a great idea. You should do that. Absolutely. Yes, that's awesome. I'll do that with you. Let's go for it. I'll post one, you post one, I'll go live, you go live, let's do one together." You know what I mean? Like they're used to everybody agreeing with everything that they say. There's no challenging, there's no critical thinking, in my opinion. And so when somebody actually is exercising critical thinking and they're asking questions, that's why a lot of times people in an MLM say, "Oh, that's just a hater." No, that's somebody that is exercising critical thinking, that's looking at data, that's looking at companies' income disclosure statements, that's been in the company before or whatnot, and they're critically thinking on what's going on and what's in front of them, what they're seeing. But because they are not equipped, when you're in a commercial cult like this, in my opinion, and somebody disagrees with you, and you've been in an echo chamber where you're surrounded by yes people, and somebody says no, you have a very visceral reaction in your body. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, and also look at what it's doing for Jesse Lee's, okay?
Yeah.
So I've seen it. But in 2018, when I went on this plant-based journey and I started this group on Facebook about plant-based eating.
Were you using that group as a funnel for whatever MLM you were a part of at the time? Because I bet you were.
People to this day, every day, are still requesting to join that group. I haven't done anything in that group in a really long time. I mean, there's a ton of recipes and value in there. Like, people can still join and get stuff out of it, but I haven't posted in there in probably years. But I realized when I started that journey, like, people flocked to me. And I was so passionate about showing up. I would go live every day about what I was cooking that night. And it was plant-based and all this stuff. And my whole family ate plant-based for 6 months out of those 2 years, and like all this stuff. I am passionate about that. So think back over the years, like, what cases have you been? Yes, I made a decision. I made a decision of what my niche is. Can you tell? Okay.
No.
So figure out what it is for you. Think back over the years about what instances like that where you have felt that fire in you. Maybe you saw something or you felt something and you started to sweat a little. You got passionate about it. Like, what is that? That's what your niche needs to be. Because when you talk about it, then when you're that fiery and passionate, people are going to be attracted to it. And that is when you were.
And that is why they yell and scream on videos, because they're trying to get people excited. They're probably trying to get themselves excited because they're exhausted as well. But they're trying to, I just want you guys to understand that I'm passionate and you want to work with me.
Going to grow your following, your network, and most importantly, your business.
Most importantly, it's not about the relationships. Even though Randy said at the beginning of this, she's very good at relationships. It's not about, the growing of your network. Bottom line, it's about making more money off of people. And that's why they need a niche. Now, in a traditional sales job, there's nothing wrong with that, because you're not going to see some of these same like manipulation things that we see in commercial cults. But in a traditional sales job, you're going to look at conversion rates and such. You're going to look at all that stuff. You're going to look at the analytical data of the reels or whatever content you're putting out. You're going to study that. You're going to perfect that, you know? So very different things. Anyways, I think we only have a little tiny bit left.
Okay. Weight training, getting healthy and fit. Listen, we won't talk about how I started doing CrossFit recently. I'm definitely not passionate about that. That's a no. But it's important. I know it's important. We're going to continue that when we move, I promise. But I don't want to talk about it. Makes me feel like I'm going to throw up. Like, that's not what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, you probably did almost throw up if you did a CrossFit workout and you haven't been working out. That's intense.
I will be passionate about nutrition every day. Like, I've always been passionate about that. And I don't know why it took me seeing somebody's keyboard comment to trigger what that was for me, but that happened this morning. So,
this morning. Randy, if I may, it's because you live in an echo chamber. And everybody around you is saying, yes, you should talk about this. Yes, that should be your niche. But people want to know your credentials. People want to know who they're working with. They don't just trust anybody over the internet anymore, probably because of MLMers, amongst other things, scammers in general, terrible people. So it's okay for people to ask for credentials. It's okay for people to ask questions. And probably not the questions that you want them to ask. You want them to ask, hey, do you, work with people or whatever? They're probably asking, well, what about this and what about that? And that probably makes you uncomfortable, but you're trying to reframe it in your own mind, in my opinion, after watching this, that's you being passionate. Eating plant-based is not going to be for everybody. I'm sure there's a time and a place, but to, blanket statement advice for people that everybody should be eating plant-based, it's not going to work for everybody. Everybody is different. They have different goals. They have different nutritional needs, and that's okay.
Anyway, I hope this was helpful.
It wasn't.
We will post the replay. I think we're recorded. Yes. And we will get the replay posted in the Frontline group as well. But remember your mindset that we started with when we started this call. Continue to show up every single day, no matter what. Lock in.
Because the cult needs you.
MVP, lock in Cancun, and then you lock in Champ.
So easy.
So let's finish the month with a bang. And I hope each and every one of you are signed up for business camp. If not,
business camp makes me think of like Vacation Bible School. That's what it makes me think of.
He said we are still opening up tickets. So you can get that. She's going to post the link right.
They have to pay for it?
Now, I know she is, so that you can get your ticket and get to Business Camp Live as well. And then make sure that you also join the waitlist chat for August Business Camp as we are mixing it up. Okay. All right. Let's close the month with a bang and move some mountains and show up for yourself and for your business. Y'all have a good day.
Guys, I can't. They're not really showing up for themselves, because at the beginning of this call, she talked about, wouldn't it be great if Jessie Lee had some more, frontline champs? Like, let's do this for her. No. Pinterest wants their quotes back. Yeah. Also, you know what? Same. If there aren't any arts and crafts at business camp, I'm not going. It's a no for me, dog. Oh, it was terrible. You guys are amazing. I appreciate y'all so much for being here, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to go celebrate Gavin's birthday with him and my family. And again, he did give me permission to go live, so we're good. He's probably up there playing video games and living his best life. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. If you have not already, if you would do me a favor and like the video, and also make sure that you're subscribed. It helps me get the word out to more people as I decode and debunk what a lot of these MLMers are saying because I did it for so many years. So don't join an MLM, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream or the next video. Bye, everybody.